Hello and welcome to another video review by the Set Reviewer. Today I'm taking a look at the Samsung EX1 digital camera. I've been testing the EX1 for a little more than a month now, and I took it with me to Iceland during my Christmas vacation. I found out there are a lot of things I like about this camera, and there are some things I don't like about this camera. The EX1 is very well built, it feels very solid and strong, and it's definitely a camera that you would have to take with you during traveling, and if I were to do some rock climbing or something, this would definitely be the camera that I would take with me rather than any other camera that I've tested. It's made out of metal and hard plastic. The lens is protected by a plastic cap that you will have to remove in order to use it, and that's a good thing because with the thick lens cap on the camera body, it feels like nothing's going to damage the lens. It's also a bad thing because it can be very frustrating having to apply and remove the cap all the time. The flash unit on the camera is very special. It's literally built into the camera, and in order to use it you will have to flick a switch which releases it, and when not in use you just push it down. I am really loving the display on the back of the camera. It's a very nice swivel design where you can rotate it 270 degrees, which is a great thing for either high or low angle shots. And when the camera is not in use, you can secure the screen by placing it towards the camera body, and there are small magnets that are not too strong and not too loose that hold the display in place. These are the reasons why I would take this camera rather than any other camera to something like rock climbing or traveling. All the sensitive parts can be completely covered: the lens, the flash units, and the screen. So the only thing exposed would be the camera body and the buttons. But even with these features, I would still recommend keeping it in a case simply to avoid scratching or damaging the body. Taking a tour around the EX1, starting on the front, you will find one of your navigation wheels, which also works as an adjustment wheel for the shutter speed. Next to that is your autofocus light, and the left side of the camera is completely blank except for the neck strap attachment. Your right side houses your USB and HDMI ports. On the bottom you will find the battery and the SD memory card slot, and next to that is your standard tripod mount. Looking at the top, we will start by seeing the pop-up flash and its release switch. Next to that is your hot shoe port for your external accessories: a speaker, a microphone, one of your setting wheel with the power button in the middle of it, the zoom rocker, the shutter release, and finally your main mode settings. At the back is the large 3-inch AMOLED display, an auto exposure lock button, a video recording button, the menu button, the metering button, a playback button, the function and delete combination button. The navigation wheel can be pushed or rotated, includes the display setting button, the flash setting button, the ISO button, a micro button, and in the middle is your OK button. The camera came with its own neck strap, which is pretty cool, and it's very comfortable having it around your neck for quick access. It also came with a USB cable and an adapter that will allow the USB cable to plug into a wall socket. What surprised me is that the bigger connector is actually the USB charging port, and the smaller connector is the HDMI connector. Unfortunately, they did not include the HDMI cable, and the USB cable is very short, which did go on my nerves sometimes when I had to find a USB extension cable in order to be able to keep the camera secure on my desk while charging it, instead of leaving it on the floor where we'll probably get stepped on or eaten by the cat. One thing I liked about this cable is that it actually has a built-in indicator light which tells you when the camera is charging with a red light and when it's done charging with a green light. That is a very cool feature because on other cameras you would either have to remove the battery in order to charge it, or they will add a light to the camera body itself, which is pretty unnecessary. So in my opinion, it was a lot better having the light on the cable itself. And also note, you can of course charge it by connecting it to your USB port on your computer. The battery life was very good on this camera. I was able to take it fully charged with me when I left the house, and it would last me the entire day. Also, the camera is easily compatible with a PC computer and a Mac without needing additional format. The EX1 packs a 10 megapixel image sensor, but unfortunately it cannot record HD video. According to Samsung, the f1.8 lens on the EX1 is one of the brightest ones in the world, and it features the ultra wide focal length and a 3x optical zoom with dual image stabilization. I will not be going into the technical specifications in this review, but you can see them all by clicking the link in the video description box below. When I first tested the camera, I thought it was very uncomfortable to hold it with my big hands, but after some time with it I figured that it would be best to hold it with either the display located away from the camera body. That way I would be able to rest my thumb on the metal back plate where the display would usually be, or by holding it with my thumb on the bottom, which a lot of people do with point and shoot cameras. The menu system is very user friendly and easy to operate. However, no matter how much I messed with the different settings, I was never able to access the grayed out settings styling selections. The build quality of the camera is great. The swiveling display feels like it's gonna last forever without breaking off, and the same with the flash. The entire metal body makes it very sturdy and durable. All the sensitive parts are covered, the flash is in the body, the display is tucked in the back with the metal plate protecting it, and the large lens cap is on the lens. This camera definitely takes some time getting used to, especially the lens cap. I was always turning it on with the lens cap still on it, and it wouldn't turn on, so that way it's not your regular point and shoot camera. You would actually have to get used to removing the lens cap all the time. I think Samsung could have added some kind of an automatic lens store like it's on most point and shoot cameras, and they should have added HD movie recording along with a longer USB cable, and a very basic protection case would have been great. However, with 10 megapixels, good battery life, very strong design and durability, a rotating AMOLED display, and a great image quality, I would definitely recommend this camera to anyone who does a lot of traveling or wants just a pretty basic camera that's not too small and will not get lost in your pocket when carrying it around. I will end this video with some sample pictures that I found on Samsung's website and some pictures that I took on my trip to Iceland, just to show you the basic image quality. Thank you very much for watching. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave one in the comment section below. For all the specifications of the Samsung EX1, check out the link in the video description box. I'd like to thank relations people at relationspeople.dk for providing me with the EX1 and the Samsung HMX H205 video camera that I used to record this video review. Also, don't forget to like the video and subscribe for more unboxings and reviews. This is so much fun. Ugh.